Sound check is good? Great. So let's come to a seated position towards the front of our chair, working to stack the spine. And we're building a chain, we're building a structure. We're almost like remember when you were a child, maybe stacking blocks. And think of each one of those blocks, think as your vertebrae. So the pelvis, the sit bones. It's a wide row of blocks. And then that builds up to a pyramid with a single block at the top. And then each vertebrae, from the sacrum all the way up to the neck, each of those vertebrae represents one block that you're stacking, one on top of the next, on top of the next, until you reach the base of the skull. Now, unlike that stack of blocks that you made as a child, our spine has muscles that support it. And each that keep that alignment right. So the bones carry the weight, the muscles support the alignment of the spine. And having built this alignment, begin to deepen the breath. Using the freedom, the openness of the front body that arrives with the stacking of the spine, allow the belly to expand, allow the lower ribs to expand. And once you found that spaciousness of the breath moving into all those corners of the body, even out the flow of the breath between your inhale and your exhale breath. And having given you a count to even out the breath for a while during our practice. So today, let's just come back to me giving you a count to first even out the breath and then to extend the exhale breath. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 3, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 3, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's find our blocks. Position our blocks beside the ankles. Let the toes point straight forward. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Stack the spine. Sit towards the front of the chair. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale the hands back to heart center. Inhale up. Heart center. And 2. Inhale up. And heart center. This time, after we inhale up, we're going to fold forward, bring our hands onto the blocks, lengthen the spine, and let the torso relax into the support of the thighs. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And let's inhale, come all the way up, and exhale the hands back to heart center. Let's just set our blocks, we can just set them a bit aside here. Inhale, and let's reach. Actually, we'll start with the right hand. Reach the right hand forward. Follow the thumb around as we twist towards our right side. Inhale, come back to center. Let's bring the left hand up to meet the right hand. Follow the left thumb around and twist left. Inhale, come back to center. Follow the right thumb, twist right. Inhale through center, left thumb, twist left. Inhale through center, right thumb, twist right. Inhale through center, left thumb, twist left. Come back to center. Reach the right fingertip down to the floor. Let's again follow the thumb. Inhale, swing around, go back, and make nice big circles with that right hand. For 2, 3, and we'll just do 3, and now we'll go in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3. Bring the left fingertips now down to the floor. You can bring the right hand up onto the right knee. And let's take that arm forward, back, and around. For 1, follow the thumb. 2, so that gives us a movement of the neck as well. And 3. Pause at the end of the 3rd circle. And let's go back for 1, 2, 3. And pause. Let's bring both fingertips down towards the floor or onto the blocks. Press the hands into the blocks and try and move the shoulder blades slightly in towards the spine as we press our hands into the blocks. Let's inhale, come all the way up. just think of that stacked row of blocks now, representing each of the vertebrae. And now let's begin to move that. And imagine a whole bunch of strings attached to those blocks so that you can now move them forward and back. And that alignment is maintained forward and back. Inhale, exhaling on the back, inhaling forward, and exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Let's just set our blocks so they're available. We're going to come up to standing. We're going to face our chair. And one of the new exercises, we're going to do a different exercise. Take one of your weights. And here, again, you don't have to use a weight for this one. But it just adds, it will add a little bit of extra strengthening work. So support one hand on the chair and lift the weight out to shoulder height and then wrap it underneath. Now you can do this exercise, do this work without the weight. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. So just set your weight down for a moment. Face the chair, wrap the hands around the edge of the chair, and press the sternum, press the whole spine straight up towards the ceiling. You might bring a slight bend to the knees if you're feeling too much strain in the hamstrings and calves. And then let the whole spine descend towards the chair. So just move yourself up and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Again, place that hand flat on the chair. Now take the weight into the opposite hand and breathe it out for 1. Thread it under the opposite armpit for 1. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Okay, just set the weight down. face the chair and just stand here for just settle the breath here for a moment. Let's inhale, come all the way up. And now, again, use some caution in this one. It's a bit of a different move. We're going to stand up, take one of our weights in both hands, take the feet, find a really firm stance here. Even turn the feet out slightly. So this is sort of like a sumo wrestler stance. This is called a strong stance. So think of yourself just like, a sumo wrestler. We're strong. Take the weight and we're going to take it down and inhale it overhead. Now make sure you're not going to hit anybody with that weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll just do 6 repetitions here. Now the next thing that's a bit new is, again, we're going to stand. It's that same stance. Let's begin by bending the right knee and take the weights, both weights. Now the weight would come into the right hand and sort of hold that, both bring the hands together and then let go and then open up across for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can bring the legs into it, bending that right leg and then moving 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's just come to center for a moment. Let's switch it to the opposite hand. Come across. And so we can bend towards the side that the weight is on, and then straighten and open for 1, 2, 3. Good. I'm seeing a lot of good modifications. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And come back. So we'll set the weights aside now. And let's now face the back of our chair. And let's find our 2 blocks. And we'll put them together like this. So put the 2 blocks together behind the chair. Let's step onto the blocks. Let's take one heel back And bend. So bend the leg with the foot fully on the chair or on the block, and then stretch that opposite hamstring or calf muscle and Achilles tendon towards the floor. So 1, lift up, and let's stretch down for 2. And you might notice that even intensifies the stretch by taking it the knee a little forward. 2. 3. Straighten. 4. And try and keep that really even extended exhale breath through this work. And 5. And 1 more for 6. Now, turn the heel on the side you've been working. So turn the toes inward and the heel out. And again, let's now just notice that taking the stretch into a slightly different part of the calf and the Achilles tendon. So our heel is out. The toes are pointing towards the opposite foot. And just let that stretch happen. Let's inhale, come up, and now turn the heel in towards the opposite foot and point the toes out slightly. And once again, now come down. Let the heel descend towards the floor. And just moving that stretch of the calf and the Achilles tendon into a slightly different area. Let's inhale, come up. Now take the foot that you've been stretching onto the block and take the opposite foot back. So just the toe base is sort of on that block, and then let that heel descend towards the floor. And again, notice this side may feel exactly the same as the other side, or it may feel a lot different. It may feel tighter. It may feel looser. Let that stretch happen. And now press the toes in, lift up. And once again, bend this knee on the supported foot and extend that heel towards the floor. One final time, let's just come up onto the toes and then extend down. Let's come off. Now, take the heel out to the side, turn the toes in, and just move that stretch into a slightly different part of the calf muscle. Keep the breathing slow, even, extended exhale to promote that stretching, to promote the relaxation of the muscle and the fascia. Let's come back up. Turn the heel-in toes out and then stretch the heel down towards the floor. Let's inhale, come up, come off the blocks. And now I'm going to place the blocks end to end this time. And for most of you, your foot would probably fit on one block, so that's fine. Just make sure you've got a good stable foundation to stand to stand up on the block. Lift the toes away from the floor, sort of level the pelvis, point the toe, and make circles with the toe. First in one direction, and then stop and go in the opposite direction. Bring the knees together, the foot up, and lower the foot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's bring that leg up, open it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Lengthen towards the floor and just lift out straight to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And just step off the blocks and shake things up. Anybody's legs feeling a little rubbery? Good, good. Okay. Let's now just move the chair over to the other side. And step up onto the block. Just find whatever degree of support you need. Just extend that leg towards the floor. Try and flex the foot and push the mound of the big toe towards the floor on that free foot. Just let that leg swing forward and back. Now, let's bring that knee up to a right angle and open out to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Drop the knee, bring the knees side by side. Lower the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then straight out to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let's step off. And just shake things out here. Let's just make sure you've got enough room behind your chair to stretch the body out. Come to standing behind your chair, back the feet towards the back of the mat, and come into our chair down dog. Draw the shoulder blades down towards the waist, bend the knees, firm up the belly, lift the inner edges of the legs, and just stretch out the spine here in our chair down dog. Let's step now our right foot in towards the chair. Turn the right toes out towards the side of, or left toes out towards the side of the mat. Let's just straighten both legs and bring the attention to the upper thigh on that leg that's back. And see if you can just spin that upper leg in any amount. And maybe you can help that by putting the pressure, it's rather subtle, put the pressure to the outer edge of the heel. Bend the chair, the leg closest to the chair in towards the chair. And stretch one hand up towards the ceiling. Stretch the opposite hand towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and come into warrior 1. Lower the hands to the chair, lift the back heel, step both feet back to meet. Press into the chair, stretch out the upper body, firm the belly, and now let's turn the toes of the opposite foot out to the side, step in towards the chair. See if you can find that inward rotation in the upper part of the thigh on the leg facing back. Bend the chair side leg in towards the chair. Strengthen the core muscles to lengthen the tailbone towards the heel. Step in, lift one arm, lift both arms away. Breathe here. And find a really strong warrior 1. Release both hands onto the chair, lift the back heel, step both feet back to meet in down dog. Now, let's begin. Let's step that right foot in, but this time a little shorter stance. Squeeze the hips in from the side. See if you can, with the shorter distance and that back foot turned in more, should be easier to bring the pelvis parallel with the back of the chair. Fold from the hips over the chair. and coming into a chair version of triangle pose. You either rest your hands on the back of the chair or reach over the chair. You're pulling the hip of the forward leg back, pressing into the heel of the leg that's back to help level the hips up in our chair version of pyramid pose. So we did quite a bit of work earlier to stretch out the calves and the Achilles tendon. So maybe this pose today might feel just a little bit easier than other days. Make sure that the muscles in the front of the legs are strengthened. The kneecap is stabilized. And if you have a tendency to hyperextend your joints, bring a slight, almost microscopic, invisible bend to the knees. Inhale, come up. Step both feet back to meet and stretch the body out in down dog. If you have your blocks handy and it's available to you, you can even come into a deeper forward fold with the hands supported on the blocks. And you might even let the hands dangle towards the floor and just sway them from side to side. Sort of think of an elephant trunk swaying back and forth. Let's bring the hands back onto the blocks, walk them up onto the chair. Stretch out the body. And now let's step in towards the chair with that back foot. Now, just slightly angled to the side. Squeeze the hips in. Square the pelvis towards the chair back. Lift out of the pelvis. Fold over the back of the chair. Hands either coming to the back of the chair or over the chair onto the seat. Notice how pushing into the leg that's back takes the pelvis forward, and pushing into the heel of the forward leg moves the pelvis. So just try and get a sense of what the pressure on alternate feet does to the positioning of the pelvis. And try and bring the pelvis as level as you can. Let's inhale, come up to the back of the chair, walk away, stretch out the upper body, bend the knees slightly, and breathe here. Let's inhale, walk in towards the chair and come up. Just before we, let's do just a little more work here, standing. Now, facing the chair, let's take the feet wider, sort of come back to that very strong, that sumo wrestler stance that we used earlier. Support ourselves with the chair, and let's lift one heel, lower, lift the opposite heel, lower. First, second, first, and second. And now hold that first heel up and come up to the toes on both feet and see if you can bend them any deeper any amount deeper into this pose. You might find that you can bring one arm to cactus or both arms to cactus. Steady the breath. Find a focal point. Drop one heel, drop the other heel. Straighten the legs, turn the feet in, back, the feet away, and let's come back to down dog. Walk the feet in towards the chair, and we'll finish off our standing work with tree pose. So remember, our chair side leg being our supporting leg. Lift the outside heel. This might be your chair or your tree for today. Bring the heel to rest on the opposite thigh or ankle, calf, or maybe up onto the inner thigh. Don't watch me. Maybe our arms, our branches of our tree open up. Draw the hands back to heart center. Release that leg. And either turn around or move your chair. Find that support in the supporting leg. Lift the heel, come to the ankle, maybe up onto the calf or right up onto the thigh. One hand to heart center, both hands to heart center. Open. Draw back to heart center, release. A little wibbly tree on that side. So let's come back to our seat, onto our seats, back to seated mountain pose. Just sit towards the front of our chair. Let the body absorb the effect of the practice that we've done so far. Let's find our blocks. And you just place the, initially, let's just place the blocks between the feet. Find our seated mountain pose here. Let's inhale the arms overhead and exhale, forward fold, either onto the blocks or onto floor. Breathe the ribs into the thighs. Let's inhale, come all the way up and bring the hands back to heart center. Come back to seated mountain. arms to cactus pose. Inhale here and take the right elbow onto the right knee and twist towards our right side. Open the left hand towards the ceiling and follow the thumb with the eyes. Inhale, return to cactus, and exhale, left elbow, and let's follow that thumb up as we twist towards our right side. Let's inhale, come back up to cactus. This time, we're going to take that right elbow and it either can come to the right knee or go all the way over to the left knee and deepen the twist a bit more towards our left side. Let's inhale, come back up and either go to the same knee or across to the opposite knee and twist right. Inhale, come back to center. Let's interlace the fingers and draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Flex and point the right toes. Circle in one direction and circle in the opposite direction. And then think about grasping the right big toe with the peace fingers or using your strap and extend that right leg out. Or not. You can keep it bent or extend it, or you can move between bending it and extension. Let's release the right foot onto the floor. Non-dominant interlace around the left knee, draw the left knee in towards the shoulder, flex and point the toes, circle in one direction, circle in the opposite direction, flex and point, and either use your belt or fingers to grasp the left leg, extend out, and you can draw it back, straighten, and draw it back, and straighten, and draw it back, and straighten. Release the right foot onto the floor, walk the legs out into a V, lengthen the spine, fold into the center of the V, and either bring the hands onto the blocks, using the edge of the chair to tilt the pelvis forward. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Our hands meet overhead. Exhale, the left hand to the outside of the right thigh and twist towards our right side. Inhale here and exhale across the opposite side. Walk the feet back into center. And take the next few moments to prepare yourself for final relaxation. So take a drink, add any extra clothing or or blankets or anything that you want to keep warm during final relaxation. And take a few moments to just find the most comfortable pose that you can. In final relaxation. So today, I'm actually going to use my chair, and I know this won't be available to many of you, but I'm going to come down on my back and actually just flip my feet up on the chair. I haven't done legs up the wall in my own practice for a while, so this is a chair version of legs up the wall. A lot of benefits to this. Maybe not so many if you can't get back up again, but well. So just come into our final relaxation pose. Let the breath move gently in the belly. Let all the muscles relax either into the support of the floor or the support of the chair. Slow the breath right down. And visualize perhaps all the things that you can do during the rest of our day with the freedom you found from moving the muscles, the confidence from being able to do the work we did. And keep making micro adjustments to make yourself any amount more comfortable. Relax the mind. Now I'm going to, for those of you on the chair, you can just continue in final relaxation. I'm going to turn those of you who are on the floor, you can turn to your side, press yourself up and come back up to seated. Come to seated towards the front of your chair and just pause for a moment in seated mountain pose. Observe the effect of your practice today. Observe the flow of the breath. Bring the hands together at heart center. Thank yourself for making time for the practice today. Thank each other for sharing your practice with each other. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. Namaste.